This is a Core 2 video for drawing a graph when you have the equation in factor form. There's a quick way to do that, and we're working on that in this one. So, graphing equations that are in the factored form. Factored form means I have two factors, in this case, x plus 1 and x plus 3. X minus 3. When I have those two factors, I can find the x-intercepts because I know that when at the x-intercept, f of x or y is 0. So I can say 0 equals x plus 1 times x minus 3. I know if that's true by the zero product property, I can say that either 0 equals x plus 1 or 0 equals x minus 3. I solve those two. Minus 1, minus 1. I get negative 1 equals x. Or I add 3 to both sides, and I get 3 equals x. Either one of those is true. Okay. And I can say that those are the x-intercepts. Okay. Go ahead, step 1. That is step 1. Now that you've written that down, go ahead and work on problem 2. I think you can do that in about 3 minutes. Okay, Hopefully you did this. 0 equals x minus 5 times x minus 1, which means that 0 has to equal x minus 5, or 0 equals x minus 1. I add 1 to both sides, and I get 1 equals x. Or I add 5 to both sides. 5 equals x. Good. Check your answers really quickly. You should have gotten that. If not, ask a question. Step 2. I'm going on to step 2 now. So this was step 1. Step 2. So first of all, I say 0 equals x plus 1 times x minus 3. Then I know that 0 has to equal x plus 1, or 0 equals x minus 3. I subtract 1 from both sides. Negative 1 equals x, or add 3 to both sides. 3 equals x. I put my or in the wrong place. So actually, step 1 starts here. Step 2 is to write the x-intercept. So I can say x-intercept equals negative 1, and the other x-intercept equals positive 3. And I'm going to take those now, and I'm going to do 3 plus negative 1. And I'm going to divide that by 2. 3 plus negative 1 is 4. Three plus negative 1, I'm sorry, 3 plus negative 1 is 2. I divide that by 2. I get 1. So I take 3 plus 1, 3 plus negative 1, divide by 2, I get 1. I'm going to take that 1 in my third step and follow through with that. So take 2 minutes, take 3 minutes though, and do step 2 to our problem down below. So you want to do step 2 now. Step 2, this was step 1. Step 2 is to write down the x-intercept. So x-intercept equals 5, x-intercept equals 1, and then I add the x-intercepts. 5 plus 1 divided by 2. So on my calculator, I do 5 plus 1, enter, and then divided by 2. So 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Good. I'm going to take that 3 now and do something interesting with it. So here I had 3 plus negative 1 was 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. You do something interesting with that. But first of all, step 1. I set my equation equal to 0. 0 equals x plus 1. Because at the x-intercepts, y is 0. Or in this case, f of x is 0. So I can say 0 equals x plus 1. Or 0 equals x minus 3. I add 3 to both sides. 3 equals x, or I subtract 1 from both sides. Negative 1 equals x. And now I have graphs. So first of all, x-intercept equals 1. X-intercept equals 2. I'm sorry, 3. I'm going to graph those x-intercepts. Oh, sorry. First of all, negative 1. I do 3 plus negative 1 divided by 2 equals 1. And I'm going to graph the x-intercepts. So x-intercept equals negative 1, right here. Take this one and put it here. X-intercept equals 3. So my x value is 3. My x value is negative 1. Now that I've added these, I have to find the vertex. So 1, where x is 1, is actually where the vertex is going to be. So I draw a dotted line. And now I have to calculate the vertex. So I'm going to do f of 1. I know my x-intercept. I know my y-intercept. I'm sorry, I know my x value for the vertex. So I plug that in. Actually, I'm sorry, that's going to be step 4. So we will go right to step 3. You have 5 and 1 for the intercepts, and 3 is your where you draw the dotted line. Okay, take about 3 minutes to do that. Hopefully you put the two x-intercepts first, the 5 and the 1, and then the 3 is where we have the axis of symmetry is actually what we're going to call that, the axis of symmetry. Okay. So, step 4. Step 1, I set it equal to 0 times x minus 3. I can say that either 0 equals x plus 1 or 0 equals x minus 3. I add 3. I subtract 1. Okay. Either one of those works to solve my equation. I can say now those are my x-intercepts. X-intercept equals -1. X-intercept equals 3. I add those two. 3 plus -1. I divide by 2. I get 2 divided by 2, which is 1. I put those on the graph now. So, 3. I'm sorry, and this is step 2. And step 3, I put them on the graph. -1 and 3. And 1, I draw my axis of symmetry. Now I have to calculate. Yeah. Now, step 3 was put them on the graph. Step 4, I have to calculate the vertex. So I know for my vertex I give 2 points, the x and the y. I know my x value is 1. I have to calculate my y value. So now to do that, I do f of 1. I put 1 in where x is. So I can say f of x equals 1 plus 1 times 1 minus 3. 1 plus 1 times 1 minus 3. And I went back. I put 1 where x is. Wherever I see an x, I put a 1. Don't write that. That's just for illustration purposes. I was explaining. Okay. Now, to calculate f of 1 equals 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 minus 3 is -2. I'll show you on the calculator real quick. 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 minus 3 is -2. Now I take 2 times -2. And when it's -2, when I have just next to the number, I use the negative sign, the white button, not the gray button. So I know that f of 1 equals -4. And that actually goes into my vertex. That's the y coordinate of my vertex. And the last thing I do is plot that here. X is 1, y is -4. And I draw my graph. And I'm done. So try step 4 now on the problem that you're working on. Okay, check your answer now. We have everything graphed. We have our line of symmetry. Okay, so this was step 3. Step 4, I need to calculate C of 3. So I take my 3, the x coordinate of the vertex, and I put it into the equation. Three minus 5 times 3 minus 1. 3 minus 5, negative 2. 3 minus 1 is positive 2. And lastly, g of 3 equals negative 2 times positive 2 is negative 4. And so I know that my vertex is at x equals 3 and y equals negative 4. I'm going to use that I'm going to plot my vertex on the graph. So 3, -4. My 3 is here. This is my 3. This is my -4. Now I draw the graph. And after you copy that down, I would like you to work on number 3. See what you can do with number 3. Okay? I'll put this back up for just a moment so you can finish. If you need to copy anything down, you may do that.